So you've decided magnesium is worth trying for your child. Or maybe you're already using it and you're not completely sure if you're doing it right. Either way, this video is the practical one. Timing, dosing, what to watch for, and the medication interaction question with specific names for the most common ones. Because I know a lot of kids in this community are on medication. It's also a reminder that whatever your child ingests is important. It could help them, it could hurt them. Strawberries vitamin C is helpful for me, but if you're allergic to strawberries, they aren't useful for you. I'm Diane Luzny, and I work with moms of kids on the autism spectrum, aged 4 to 12, who also have sleep issues. The first 3 magnesium videos in this series covered the biology, the forms or types of magnesium, and the research. This one is about the practical side, what using magnesium actually looks like for an autistic child's nervous system, day to day, evening to evening. Point 1. Timing. Why when you give it matters. One of the most common mistakes with magnesium is the timing. Often it's given right before bed, at lights out, or during the last part of the bedtime routine. Here's the issue. Magnesium isn't a sedative. It doesn't work in 20 minutes. It works by giving the nervous system the chemistry it needs to begin winding down, activating GABA, moderating cortisol, and allowing muscles to release. See video 2 of this series for more information on the types and what they do. But those processes need time to get going. Think of it like heating a big old heavy cast iron pan. You can't turn it on and immediately cook in it. It needs time to absorb the heat and distribute it evenly, and then it will become ready. Magnesium is the same way. It needs that runway, that warm-up time. For sleep, the most useful timing is 60 to 90 minutes before the bedtime routine begins, not before lights out, before the routine. So if the routine starts at 7:30, then there's bath, pajamas, books. Magnesium is given at, say, 6 or 6:15-ish. That gives the body time to begin shifting before the transition demands arrive. For an autistic nervous system that doesn't switch gears easily, that head start matters. You're not asking the body to settle and transition at the same time. You're giving it a chance to begin settling first. One more timing note. If your child is also using citrate for constipation, as we discussed in video 2, give that one in the morning or early afternoon. You don't want a laxative effect running at 10 p.m. Point 2, dosing. The label confusion that trips everyone up. We touched on this in video 2, but it's worth going deeper here because it's another common reason why magnesium seems to not be working, and it's a completely avoidable problem. When you look at a magnesium supplement label, the big number on the front is the compound weight. That's the total weight of the magnesium plus whatever it's paired with. The number that actually matters is the elemental magnesium, the amount of actual magnesium that the body receives. It's usually on the back, listed as elemental magnesium or Mg. It's always smaller or much smaller than the front number. A common example, a capsule labeled 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate typically contains around 50 to 60 milligrams of elemental magnesium. That's a big difference. And it's the difference between a therapeutic dose and a dose that's too low to do anything useful. So, what's an appropriate elemental dose for a child? Rough guidelines, very rough, based on age. And these are the starting points, not the prescriptions. And remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I'm a stranger on the internet. Continuing on. Children 4 to 8 years roughly 80 to 100 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily. Children 9 to 12, roughly 100 to 130 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily. Start at the lower end. Make sure you are using the right form of magnesium. That's very important. Give it consistently for 2 to 3 weeks before adjusting. If you're seeing loose stools, the dose is too high, or the form has a laxative effect, reduce it or switch to glycinate if you're using something else. And one more thing on labels. If the brand doesn't clearly state the elemental magnesium per serving, that's a reason to choose a different brand. Transparency on the label reflects quality in the product. Point 3, medications. The specific conversation you need to have. A lot of children on the spectrum are on different medications: stimulants, antipsychotics, anticonvulsants, melatonin. And the question of whether magnesium is safe alongside those deserves consideration. So here's what we actually know about each category. Stimulant medications such as Ritalin, Vyvanse, Adderall, Concerta. Stimulants increase the nervous system activation. They also increase how quickly the body uses and excretes magnesium. So children on stimulants are often more depleted than you'd expect. There's no dangerous interaction between magnesium and stimulant medications. In fact, some research suggests that restoring magnesium levels in children on stimulants may reduce some of the side effects, including sleep disruption and irritability. The reason to tell the prescribing doctor isn't safety, it's completeness. Their picture of your child's health should include what supplements are being used, because it's relevant context for the overall management. Antipsychotic medications such as risperidone, also called Risperdal, aripiprazole, also called Abilify. These are commonly prescribed for autism-related behavioral challenges, such as aggression, self-injury, extreme mood dysregulation. No dangerous interaction has been identified between magnesium and these medications, but here's the specific issue. Magnesium oxide, the cheap, common, poorly absorbed form that we talked about in video 2, that is often found on store shelves and in cheaper vitamins, has been shown to raise the pH level of the stomach, and that change can reduce how well antipsychotic medications are absorbed. This is a form or type specific problem, not a magnesium problem. It is the oxide form that's the problem. So if your child is on antipsychotic drugs, take glycinate, not oxide. Actually, never take oxide. You just don't. It's not a useful form of magnesium. And of course, let the doctor and pharmacist know you've added a supplement, not because it's dangerous, but because they should know. Anticonvulsant medication for children with co-occurring epilepsy. Magnesium influences calcium channels in the nervous system, and some anticonvulsants work through related pathways. This doesn't make the combination dangerous, but it does make it a conversation that belongs with the prescribing neurologist, not something to add without mentioning. If your child has epilepsy and you're considering magnesium, bring it up at the next appointment. Most neurologists will have a view on it. Melatonin, no concerning interaction. Many families in the autism community use both, and it makes biological sense. Melatonin signals when to sleep. Magnesium helps the nervous system to be capable of settling. They work on different parts of the same problem. If your child is already on melatonin, adding magnesium at the right time doesn't interfere with it. They complement each other. Kidney function. The one genuine caution. The kidneys regulate how much magnesium the body holds and how much it excretes. In a healthy child with normal kidney function, excess magnesium is cleared safely. If your child has any kidney condition, even a mild one, this conversation genuinely does belong with their doctor before you start. Not as a precaution, as a necessity. Compromised kidneys can't regulate magnesium the same way, and that changes the safety picture significantly. And with kidneys, you can seldom go by symptoms. Kidney issues are most often symptomless. I've read of adults who had no symptoms go to an annual checkup only to find out their kidneys were so dysfunctional they needed to go directly onto dialysis. Speaking personally, kidneys are difficult and slow to heal. What you can do: 3 concrete things. First, check your timing. If you're giving magnesium at bedtime, move it earlier, 60 to 90 minutes before the bedtime routine begins. Give it at least 2 weeks at the new timing before deciding whether it's working. Second, check your label. Flip the bottle and find the elemental magnesium number. Make sure what your child is actually receiving follows in the appropriate range for their age. If you can't find it on the label, that's a brand you shouldn't use. Third, if your child is on any medication, mention the magnesium at the next doctor's appointment and with the pharmacist. And if they're on antipsychotics, make sure it's magnesium glycinate, not oxide. There is no reason to take oxide. While we're talking about bedtime, how your child enters their bedtime routine, whether they are clingy, wired, withdrawn, post-meltdown, or calm, will determine how the routine will go. Check out my free guide that explains what each state tells you about what's going on in your child's body and what you can do to help them. It's a quick read and immediately useful. In the next video, the last in this series, we are talking about something that comes up constantly. Why is this all so hard? Supplements, routines, everything else. Magnesium can lower the threshold for settling, but the nervous system also needs something that no supplement can give it. And that's what video 5 is all about. See you there.